Today on Larry King Now, 7-time Grammy winner Will.I.Am on his new tech venture.
It's a standalone device. It's truly a computer on your wrist.
What he thinks about the state of the music business.
In the world of mindshare, how does music compare with Instagram, where you're refreshing every 5 minutes?
Plus, you famously produced the song Yes We Can, endorsing Obama in 2008. How do you assess his presidency?
I don't even know how to answer that question.
Well, are you disappointed?
Yes, I'm disappointed, and no, yes, I'm disappointed.
That's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Global musical artist Will.I.Am's illustrious career has earned him 7 Grammy Awards and collaborations with some of the biggest names in the business. His group, the Black Eyed Peas, has sold over 76 million records, making him the co-creator of one of the best-selling musical acts of all time. He's a singer, songwriter, DJ, record producer, philanthropist, and entrepreneur whose new venture has him looking to beat tech giants Apple and Samsung at their own game. He's saying no. You're not. Tell me about this. What you're wearing 2 watches.
Yeah. So.
What is this, Will.I.Am?
This is called the Puls. The name of the company is I Am Plus. So I funded the company to get us to this point, and then went out and raised some capital to help us go to market. So it's a standalone device. It's truly a computer on your wrist. So it's packed with a SIM card, a Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset, 780 milliamps of power, so that give you like 6 to 8 hours of usage, similar to an iPhone 5, not 6. That's more battery. So you can make phone calls from the device without the use of a phone, send emails, text messaging, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
And you don't have to have a phone connected to it?
No, and we have a AI. The name of the operating system is called Anita, and we have an artificial intelligence voice navigation personal digital assistant on the device itself.
When does it come out?
So we have a tastemaker launch program that we start shipping December 15th. So you could go on puls.com, that's Puls.com, to apply to get one of these devices. I got the hottest Christmas gift this year. So we have a controlled launch to get our tastemakers to help us, suggest what direction we should go with our UI,
So you go to
UX.
Puls.com
Yeah.
and you order it there?
Yeah. So you'll be a part of our tastemaker program, and that will take us to, second quarter next year, where we have something really exciting that blows. Some really, really exciting stuff coming.
That blows this away?
No, this is great. This is amazing. I mean, think about it. I come from the projects down the street, Los Angeles, and to think that when I was 9 years old, driving my bicycle, did I ever think that I would be able to create a device like that?
So tell me something.
Yeah.
How is this different from what Samsung and Apple are coming with?
Well, one, you don't need a phone for it to work. So when you're in the gym, you don't have to worry about having zippers in your pants so your phone doesn't fly out your pockets when you're doing jumping jacks or jump ropes or squats or whatnot like that.
What got you interested? You're a singer. You're a star. What got you interested in technology world?
So when you have some success, big companies they hire you to go and sell product, right? So when you're in a successful group like Black Eyed Peas, you get called to endorse a product, whether it's a beverage or a device, a hotel chain, a car, whatever it is, they use us to sell stuff.
Right.
So one day I realized how much it costs to develop that. I'm like, hey, how much it costs to develop this vehicle or this device? And I got hip to the R&D cost to develop. And then I realized how much they pay a big group or an artist to endorse a product. I'm like, so you mean to tell me the amount you're paying us is the same amount it costs to develop what we're selling? As soon as I come across a nice bucket of change, I'm gonna develop my own product.
You made history with NASA in 2012. You streamed a song from the surface of Mars, right? On August 28, 2012 at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, called Reaching for the Stars.
Yeah.
What was that like?
So the way that came about is I met this guy by the name of Dean Kamen. And Dean Kamen, he created the Segway, the technology for the Segway. And I was just mesmerized by that piece of technology. So I reached out to him because I wanted to flip it. Flip it means like take the guts and create something new. So I'm a tinkerer. I like to tinker and whether it's songs or just making things for me. So I called Dean Kamen so I could do a collaboration. I don't know what gave me the guts to call him, but I called him. And he says, hey, hey, Will.I.Am, I was just talking about you the other day. Funny how the world works. I got this thing called First. I'm like, what's First? He was like, see, that's a problem. I've been doing this for 20 years, and most people don't know what First is. First is for inspiration and research around science and technology. And we get kids engaged in building robots. We have a competition every year. Would you like to come check it out? I was like, robots? What kind of robots? He was like, come and check it out. You're gonna be blown away. So I went there and I was blown away by these kids from 9 to 18 building robots. He was like, I need you to help me make it cool. I was like, I can't help you make it cool. It's already cool. But I can help you make it louder.
So you did what?
So I said, hey, Black Eyed Peas, if we're playing the Super Bowl and NFL for kids who are watching it, who are getting fails and Ds, let's do the Super Bowl for the mind for this robotics competition for kids who excel with A's and B's. So we did that. So then I funded that. And then they got a #2 rating on ABC in August. And then Charlie Bolden called me from NASA, said, hey, why don't you come down to JPL and help us come up with ideas to get kids engaged in space exploration and STEM. So I went there and I came up with the idea that when Curiosity lands on the surface of Mars, instead of sending just a signal back, if it could beam a song back. The kids in my ghetto that I come from, they see the possibilities on what a STEM education might bring them. They never would have known about the Curiosity rover if it wasn't for that.
We'll talk about that ghetto when we come back. We'll also ask him about President Obama, lots of other things with the great Will.I.Am. Don't go away. Don't forget to go to Puls, right?
Yep.
.com and find out all about this amazing watch that was created by the one and only Will.I.Am, our guest. By the way, you told me that the Black Eyed Peas started in Glendale, right where we are.
Yeah.
At the shopping center here.
Yeah, at the mall, Glendale Galleria. We started in 1995.
Would you sing over there?
No, we just like in high school. Actually, we used to hang out there after school in summer, during summer break, and we used to break dance by the clock. So we used to get kicked out of the mall for dancing in the mall. And having freestyle battles in the right by JW Jeans West. And when we started the Black Eyed Peas in '95, this was the little community that we would rock at.
Why did you name it Black Eyed Peas?
I didn't really like the food, the dish, Black Eyed Peas. But my grandma used to make me eat it and didn't let me get up off the seat until I finished it. So what it told me, when I think of Black Eyed Peas, I think of like commitment and, just being persistent and finishing what you started.
All right, switching gears. In reaction to the grand jury's decision on the Ferguson death of Michael Brown, and you said, I just found out about the verdict. I feel sick to my stomach. I'm angry and confused. I feel betrayed. America is lost. What do you mean by America is lost?
I've lost friends to, a couple of my friends got shot by police officers in the ghetto that I'm from. A lot of my friends got shot by rival gangs in the ghetto that I'm from. I know gang members, I know police officers. I know drug dealers, I know athletes. But then I also know what's happening around inner cities with the prison industrial complex. And for the life of me, I can't figure out how a nation could have privatized prisons.
Yeah,
to me, it just seems like we're feeding off ourselves, and we're not preparing and bringing opportunities to those in these communities. to me, it's just a cycle of disconnect, perpetual ignorance, because there's no investment to balance off the investment in prisons.
And how do you relate that to Ferguson?
I believe if there were opportunities in Ferguson where it was clear for youth that they could participate and be a part of conversation with big business, and big business at this point in time is technology, and it was an obvious direction to dream down, Ferguson wouldn't be configured the way it is. I believe if areas like Ferguson had factories that made the stuff that we all consume, Ferguson wouldn't be that way. Watts wouldn't be that way if WhatsApp came from Watts. Compton wouldn't be that way if technology was made there. Like, technology is a multi-trillion-dollar industry when you take the telcos and the hardware and the software all together. It's a big, big business. But for some reason, kids in inner cities aren't dreaming that direction. So it all relates to Ferguson when it comes to opportunity and being part of the conversation of the most vibrant, impactful, cultural, life-changing conversations that are actually happening right now.
So you're pessimistic?
No, I'm optimistic. The reason why I go back to my ghetto that I'm from and tell these kids that they should take an interest in STEM. Right? I'm optimistic on what technology can do for inner cities and, most importantly, the youth.
You famously produced the song Yes We Can, endorsing Obama in 2008. You worked on both of his campaigns. How do you assess his presidency with 2 years to go?
It would have been hard for anyone. It would be hard for anyone. I don't even know how to answer that question.
Well, are you disappointed?
Yes and no. Yes, I'm disappointed, and no, yes, I'm disappointed. I'm not going to sit here and claim like I'm the expert in politics. I don't understand it. The idea of Obama was an amazing idea. The execution of it, how you executed education reform, to me, should have been the first thing we should have been fighting for.
Not health care.
Well, with education reform, you get jobs, right? Because there's thousands of jobs in America we can't fill, and it just so happens to go back to my focus, and that's technology. There's a lot of engineering jobs. They're all coming from Bangalore, India. I know because who I hired to build my company. They come from Bangalore, India. I wish we can. Yes, there's a lot of engineers here in America, and to have a technology company like this, we're scouring and having a fight with big companies like Facebook and Twitter and Google and Instagram, right? Because they're going to want to go there first.
Switching gears, you have a very impressive resume in terms of people you've collaborated with. Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, Britney Spears, Miley Cyrus, Lady Gaga. You even collaborated with Jimmy Fallon, that went viral. How do you choose who you collaborate with?
The idea comes first. So with Jimmy Fallon, it was the idea of taking his sketch and making a song out of it. And never would I ever think like, ooh, I'm gonna dress up like a teenage girl and make a song. But the idea in his sketch to make a song out of that sketch that he does with other, actors, and Michelle Obama was on it once. So to make a song out of that, I'm an idea executor. So if the idea is great,
obviously,
let's execute the idea.
You are well beyond your years. Up next, what Will.I.Am thinks about the current state of the music industry. And we'll play a game of If You Only Knew. Stay with us. We're back with Will.I.Am. You go to puls.com and get all the information about this amazing new watch coming. What a Christmas idea. You told Page Six recently, everything around music right now is so 2000s, like 2003. What do you mean?
The business of music is like, the industry still operates as if we're making hard goods. When the way we consume music is, did you hear that new song? Check it out. And you go straight to Google. You should go straight to YouTube.
We had three very successful musicians, three different generations on this show recently. Joe Perry of Aerosmith, Melissa Etheridge, and T-Pain. All of them said that music industry is not in a good place.
You know, it's not. Before, Michael Jackson would compete with Prince. You know, the Rolling Stones would compete with the Beatles. You know, Sly and the Family Stone would compete with, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire, Commodores. Music is not competing with Instagram. Music is not competing with Twitter. Music is not competing with the other thing that, you know, mindshare. Before, you would listen to music in your room or drive, and that was your mindshare. So in the world of mindshare, how does music compare with Instagram, where you're refreshing every 5 minutes? The average amount of time that someone spends looking at their phone is about 6 hours a day. That's a lot of mindshare. So how much of that is associated with music? So as an industry, what are we doing to compete? We don't even have our own platform. We borrow everyone else's. You would think the major three would have created a platform by now. You would have thought that WhatsApp was ours. You would have thought, right, we adopt everybody's platforms and socialize on it. Twitter was built by us. Instagram was built by us. You would think we would have our own thing right now. So after our success with Beats, I developed this company. So you have the music industry, and inside the music industry, you had Beats. What we've accomplished with Beats is what the record industry hadn't done, I don't know, ever.
Beats was your idea, right?
No, it was my idea to do hardware. I told Jimmy we should do hardware. Beats was Jimmy's idea with Dre, and he brought me on board to be a part of the company. Actually, the first time Beats were ever shown on television was on the interview that we did with Maya Angelou, 2008. I had Beats on my head, on my neck.
Really?
Yeah. Those were prototypes.
2008, that was on CNN.
Yep, 2008, wow. I had them on my head, on my neck. Maya Angelou was...
We were revolutionaries. Yeah, she was by satellite. Wow. What do you think of Taylor Swift's... Oh, by the way, Beats was Apple bought it for $3 billion, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think of Taylor Swift's decision to split from Spotify?
First off, Taylor Swift is killing the game right now. What I mean by that is Taylor Swift is probably the hottest person in music right now. She's the only one who had a platinum album this year. The first time in music history that no one went platinum. No one sold 1 million copies. Just Taylor Swift. So salute Taylor Swift. Not only congratulations on the success as far as how you monetize it, but the songs are awesome. The people around you you got an awesome couple of joints. Like, I can't even believe, I never thought I would be saying this in 2014. If you would have told me like in 2007 that I'm gonna be up here like, yo, Taylor Swift is the hottest one right now. Yo, that's like climbing the freaking Himalayas.
We're gonna play a little game if you only knew, okay? I'll just throw some questions at you. Remember the first girl you kissed?
Yeah, Carmen Perez.
How old were you?
I was in 9th grade. I was 15 years old. And,
oh, that's late.
Oh, I was shy. She was like, when are you going to kiss me? I'm like, oh.
Favorite city to perform in?
Solo or Black Eyed Peas?
There's different cities for each one? Black Eyed Peas.
Brazil, Sao Paulo. Myself, London.
Okay.
Or Paris.
What's something to achieve you haven't achieved yet?
Here's what I want to achieve. 2015, November, I want to be walking through the airport, and then someone goes like this, because they're talking on the phone to their family members, and say, oh my gosh, Will.I.Am just passed me, as I'm talking on the Pulse.
Got it.
That to me is success when it's a part of people's lives.
What's your favorite song of all time?
Where am I at listening to it?
Today.
Oh, today then it would be "So What" by Miles Davis.
What do you think? Would you take a civilian flight into space?
The first one?
Yeah.
No, not the first one.
Let's see. Good. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
The one I have.
Where do you keep your Grammys?
And in my house, in the cabinet.
In L.A.
Yeah, the superpower that I have is to be able to take ideas and make them real.
Guilty pleasure.
Taylor Swift's new record. I'd like Taylor Swift. If I was here, I would ask her to sign my freaking cup.
You're friends of Justin Bieber. How's he? Is he as troubled as he's coming off in the media?
You gotta the media is the media. Media is a beast within itself, right? It feeds off of whatever it needs to feed off to sell advertisement. So right now, Justin Bieber's the culprit. Some of it's true, some of it's amplification and inflation. So the bigger the balloon is, the more advertising you could sell on it. So what air are you gonna use to fill this balloon up? Right now, Justin Bieber is the air for the balloon.
Coming up, what's next for Will.I.Am, and he'll answer some of your social media questions. Back in a minute. We're back with Will.I.Am. Look for the watch. Puls, right?
Yep.
.com, Puls.com. Go to that and find out more about it. Are you seeing anybody now? Going to get married? What's happening in the wonderful world of Will.I.Am?
Oh, so right now, it's I'm married to the Puls. And
You live by yourself?
I live in seat A1 or sometimes K2 when I fly. I think I got a lot of miles.
Are you a good passenger?
Yeah, I sleep. I can sleep right away.
Turbulence don't bother you?
I just look at it as God's rocking me to sleep.
What's next for you professionally?
Professionally is to really, there's an opportunity right now that we have, right? It's the first time in a long time that the music industry, or someone from the music industry, will have a fully baked ecosystem, right? Where it's hardware, software, an operating system, and we're really competing against giants, right? It's like David and Goliath right now for us.
We have some Facebook questions for you, or some social media questions. This is from Facebook, Bradley Sola. What kind of material did you record with Michael Jackson, and will it ever see the light of day?
Yeah, so me and Mike, we worked on a couple of songs and created a beautiful friendship. And our understanding was, I'm gonna come with my hard drive, and you have your hard drive. Your lyrics stay on your hard drive. My music stays on my hard drive. You don't pay me. You don't pay for my plane ticket. We work just because we love music. When we make money is when the song comes out. And it's mutual. So everyone else, I used to look at how they treated Michael Jackson. They would charge him, gobbles and gobbles of money to work on music. I didn't want to treat Mike like that. I'm a fan, and then we became friends. So I have the music. He has the vocals, and it would never come out because he's so meticulous. And
so we're never going to hear him?
No, it would be the worst. That's wrong.
All right.
Because he's not there to edit and guide.
Polkir Slitka on Facebook. When you decide to collaborate with someone, do you choose them because of how hot they are or just because of their talent?
I choose them because the idea. What is it we're trying to accomplish? Whether they're famous or they're not, or they're passionate. It's just the idea has to be bigger than anything.
Kevin653 wants to know on Instagram, who were your musical influences growing up?
Earth, Wind & Fire, KRS-One. Right now, I was just listening to a song called Who Protects Us From You by Boogie Down Productions. I urge everyone to go online and check out BDP, Who Protects Us From You. It's as if he wrote it back in '89 for what's happened in 2014.
And Val Sadie tweets, "What? You do so well in the UK. Did you ever dream you'd get that kind of reception there?"
No, one day I went to the Buckingham Palace with Prince Charles because I donated $1 million to Prince Charles 2 years ago, so he can have a STEM program similar to the program I have in East LA. Because I noticed in East in East London and the Prince's Trust, they didn't have a STEM program. So I was like, hey, why don't we start a STEM program together and take your Prince's Trust and, get these kids in inner cities engaged and encourage them to take an interest. So I gave them $1 million to start that program. So as I'm walking through Buckingham Palace, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Who would have ever thought that I'm like, hey, there's kids in East London that need to be brought up to speed because tomorrow is totally different than what we just came out of, right?
Wow.
Crazy. So no, I never thought I would have that kind of success in the UK.
You're a great man.
Hey, Larry King.
I'd like to thank my guest, Will.I.Am, and remember, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things. See you next time.